That's what happened on Pikes Peak when I, hurt my leg, my sacrum. So I wish my trail running. Oh man. But I wish I would have known 5 years ago when I really started to go all in on the trails, on the mountain running, the high alpine training is, I wish, and this list I could probably come up with 50 different points of things that I've learned, experiences that I've gone through that have brought me to this point that I wish I would have known 5 years. So I'm gonna shed light just on like 4 or 5 ideas, starting with the why. Why do you want to become a trail runner? If I would have asked myself that 5 years ago and make sure that my why is very powerful, because why? The vertical gain, the elevation, the weather, the crazy weather, the rocks, the falling, the tripping. That's what happened on Pikes Peak when I, hurt my leg, my sacrum. So I wish my why would have been even more powerful. I had a powerful why, but ask yourself that before you, if you're just beginning to dabble or think about becoming a trail runner, because guess what? It is quite a bit different. It's gonna be harder. I'm just calling it as it is. Road running is hard, don't get me wrong. Like road running, like the speed, it's hard. Trail running is a different kind of hard, and I think most people that do road and trail training or racing will tell you that they're both hard. But the trails, you gotta respect the vertical gain, and the more powerful your why is, the more you'll be able to endure through those difficult moments. So, first point, know your why. Next up, lower leg strength and resilience. I really wish I would have known, putting an emphasis on my soleus, my calf to a certain extent, but my ankle, because of the torque and the power that you can create through your ankle, unbelievable for steep uphill trail running. I wish I would have put more emphasis at the beginning 5 years ago in the gym, actually at the car. You saw me at the car earlier. That's what I was doing, strengthening my ankles for the uphill running, just to create that push-off power that you can only get if you're really dialing in the strength work and the stability work that I was doing at the car to prepare for those steep uphill running moments. Point number 2, lower leg strength and resilience. Next up, goes without saying, know your route. All right, hold on. Can you see me? Camera's a little high. Know your route. Let's not get lost out there. Tell your friends and family where you're running, where you're going. It's just different than running in the city. And you can get lost running in a city, but there's people around that you can ask, all right? We don't want to get lost way out in the woods and not know how to get back. I've never really been afraid for my life, being lost, but I have been lost a couple times where I'm like, ugh, this is gonna be a little difficult to figure out where I need to go. Maybe I lose an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours just kind of wandering around out in the woods. So know your route. We don't really use maps anymore. Here's a map of UTMB. We don't really use maps as far as, most of the time we have access to our phones and a connection so that we can look up where we're at on whether you use Apple Maps, Google Maps, whatever. Strava obviously has been very key for, and that's actually a tip of the day, for developing your running routes. Strava has gotten much, much better in the last couple of years with respect to figuring out where other people are running, and specifically out in nature. But also sometimes you don't have cell service. In fact, quite often you don't have cell service out in the wilderness. Therefore, using if you really want to make sure people can find you if you're going like way off the grid is a spot device. Okay, there's the name on your screen. It's called a spot device. I think it's a monthly subscription, I do believe. Anyway, it sends out, to the satellites, and it's for emergency purposes as well. It can track you for, big adventures out in the mountains. So know your route, goes without saying. Tip number 3. What I wish I would have known 5 years ago, because yes, I have been lost out there in the woods over these past 5 years. That is for sure. Now this one's a little unique because a lot of people talk about this, and I've actually made a vlog about, and here it is, pack your essentials. Goes without saying, you want to be safe in the mountains. What do humans need? We need shelter, we need food, and we need water to survive out there, okay? So you got your pack. This is my Solomon pack headlamp, all right? This is actually a waist belt headlamp. Love it. I'll link to all this down below in the description. You got your running hat, of course. When you're out there running for hours and hours in the mountains, usually the runs take longer compared to running in the city. Therefore, the sun is going to be beating down on you longer. That's actually why I started wearing sunglasses. I never wore sunglasses in high school, in college, training, until I started trail running and ultra running, is that you're out there for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours at a time, and the sun can just really beat down on you. So also, of course, handheld water bottle, or, if you carry water in your backpack. But what I really wanted, and then of course gels or whatever food you're carrying, what I really wanted to emphasize is not only pack the essentials for the run, and this is where I can't say I've ever heard this before. Pack your essentials for before the run and after the run. So what are you putting in your car right before and then right after? Because let's say you go out for 6 hours and it's raining, or it starts raining right at the end, or sleeting and it's really cold. You want to make sure that what is in your car, you're ready to get out of those wet clothes, or you're ready to, maybe just for the sake of comfort, you're ready to get out of those trail shoes that you've been in for 6 hours, and you want to get into some sandals, or whatever the case may be. Maybe your tent if you're planning on camping at the trailhead. So that's my second major tip for this little category here, is pack the essentials for the run, but also for the car before and after. All right, one more. Almost back to the car. And again, this list could be 50 different items as far as what I wish I would have known 5 years ago. And here's the deal. Actually, let's do a question of the day. What is something you wish you would have known when you started trail running? Ooh, so key. And I'm going to do my best to pin the best comment that I can find today on the vlog. All right. So share your tips, I know there's so much experience out there, people watching around the world, and that actually connects to what I'm about to share here. This is more the fun side and the dreaming side of trail running, is that there's trail running is broad. That's a huge phrase, trail running. There's so many different types of ways to run trails and run different types of trails. So, do you like flat trail running where you don't have to go up a mountain? Yeah, that does exist. Do you prefer to run in the desert or high alpine? I know a lot of people that love to run more in like that desert environment where it's really dry and you can see for miles and miles and miles, and you don't have a lot of trees around you. Sometimes I kind of wish I was running more in desert conditions. Or is it, high elevation or sea level type of trail running? Again, there's just here's a good one. Loops versus loops, meaning a loop of Mont Blanc, all right, a loop of UTMB, it's a looped course, or loops like the big backyard ultra, right? This is a new phenomenon in trail running in the last decade is when it really started. Usually, I think around 2012, where you literally run in somebody's backyard or somewhere and just do loops, and it's actually a race, and the last person to stop running wins the race. And you can do a 1 mile loop. Usually they're about 3 to 4 mile loops. You just do loops and loops and loops. And I think I've read like 200 miles of just the same loop. Oh, anyway, I digress. That is the final thing that I wish I would have known 5 years ago, is to really find your niche within the trail running world. And for me, gotta say, it's probably high alpine vertical running. I mean, that's probably where I excel, and probably, you know, I just love it. I absolutely love it. I want to dabble in other areas as well at some point. I'd love to do like a vertical kilometer, but starting at the sea, you know, starting at dead sea level and going up from there. Anyway, can't wait to read your comments. I love you. Come on now, trail running, huge topic. I could go on and on. I'll stop there for today. We'll toss it to ultra running. Ah, there you go, ultra running. What I wish I would have known 5 years ago. Right there, right there, right there. All right, onward and upward. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.